On Sunday, the St. Louis BattleHawks lost to DC. And the really sad reality for the St. Louis BattleHawks is that it was a step backwards for their quarterback, Jordan Ta'amu. He was not polished as a quarterback this past weekend. There's a play on 2nd and 8 where he held onto the ball too long. He had an open route. He had an out route open on the right side of the field, and he took a sack instead. And it was like he didn't understand who the play was designed to put in conflict. The corner bailed and dropped off, letting the flat get open. The linebacker on the right side flowed inside with an in-breaking route, and the flat was just wide open, and Jordan Ta'amu couldn't recognize it, didn't understand what happened, held onto the ball too long, and took a sack. And then on the first play of the game, earlier in the game, on the first play, there was a guy wide open deep, and Jordan Ta'amu missed the throw. He just overthrew him. And on a 3rd and 10, there was some pressure, and it forced Jordan Ta'amu to step up in the pocket. He kind of panicked and threw the ball to his check down way too early, who was not open, by the way. The check down was completely covered. Threw an incomplete pass rather than being calm and working through his progression or stepping up in the pocket, extending the play, keeping his eyes downfield, looking for someone to be open. Instead, he hurried himself, forced the ball early to his check down, and threw an incomplete pass. Jordan Ta'amu was just a bit off. He was just a bit off in this game. And St. Louis had protection issues. There were a couple of plays where the protection wasn't great. There was an injury in the offensive line. But the offensive line is not a good enough excuse. They played good enough for Jordan Ta'amu to do well. And Jordan Ta'amu's average decision-making and lack of execution were certainly not the offensive line's fault. The offensive line doesn't throw the ball. The offensive line doesn't hurry themselves. They don't miss throws. They don't make bad decisions. The offensive line can allow guys to come early, but that's on Jordan Ta'amu to handle that better. And Jordan Ta'amu did not handle a lot that great in Week 5. Week 5 was just, again, a gigantic step backward from Week 4. Week 4, Jordan Ta'amu had his best performance as a quarterback at any level. I'm convinced of that. Week 5 was a step backward from decision-making, from an accuracy standpoint. And St. Louis, just as a team, had multiple opportunities late in this game, and they blew it. They got stopped on 4th and 1 twice in the fourth quarter. And it was a team loss. I mean, they had protection issues. They couldn't win on 4th and 1 up front 2 times in a row. They had a punt block. They missed a field goal. And Jordan Ta'amu was not his best. In Week 5, St. Louis lost to DC, and they did not deserve to win the game.